Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So I have prepared a comprehensive guide to house sharing, making your home roommate ready. So house sharing, that is on the minds of many single adult women, can add a lot of fun and adventure to your life. It can also be a huge challenge if you're not prepared. So to make sure you and your roommates are comfortable, it's important to make sure your home is roommate ready. So this comprehensive guide will help you make your living space the perfect place for roommates and for you. So when is house sharing a good idea? So several weeks ago, one of my friends approached me about house sharing. She asked if I'd be interested in sharing her large home with a few other friends. And she also then asked me if I would assist her with redesigning a few of the areas of her large home to prepare it for house sharing. So she, like many other single women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, are thinking of ways that they can repurpose and leverage their biggest asset to generate additional income in retirement, while also creating a small but vibrant community of women who can thrive as they age. So why would you try house sharing? So granted, house sharing is a unique alternative lifestyle that's not for everyone, but it's definitely an option for many women 60 plus to consider for a variety of reasons. One, of course, is financial. One of the biggest questions is, will I run out of money in retirement? So house sharing is an emerging trend as one solution to more affordable housing for women aging alone. It's also a viable option to senior living facilities that the average middle-class woman may not be able to afford. So many factors contribute to roommates later in life after divorce, loss of a spouse, lack of a support system with children, adult children maybe not living in the area. But the most common reason is that women will consider living together is financial. So with the cost of housing and healthcare being at an all-time high, and with inflation and recession, the pressure of that, it makes sense that sharing a house and sharing the living costs might be a good opportunity for financial stability and sustainability. Those are very real concerns for divorced, widowed, or never married solo agers. So the second reason to maybe consider house sharing is community. Another quote that I oftentimes hear is, I don't want to grow old alone. So studies show that isolation and loneliness are two of the greatest silent killers of a longer and happier life. Without that social connection or very little human interaction, we're actually likely to die 5 years sooner, according to studies, than those who do have a support system that includes family and friends. So living alone in the suburbs and the rural settings provide that comfort of living in the home where you were raised and your children. But it may not be conducive to aging alone. So the third reason for people to consider living together in a house share situation is companionship. So house sharing is not caregiving. And that's important to know that right up front. But it does provide an opportunity to develop friendships, people who care about you, and they'll drive you to the doctor's appointments. They'll help you shop or go to church or just provide transportation, because transportation dependency is a big deal if you want to remain independent for as long as possible. For those of you who do not have children or those whose children live away, the comfort and companionship in home sharing certainly helps. The fourth reason to consider house sharing is starting over. So one of the questions that I get asked is, what if my spouse dies before I do? So things happen. Suddenly you're alone and having to start all over later in life and rebuild a new life as a single is not only an emotional challenge, it's also a financial challenge that presents many questions. Where will I live? What can I afford now? Is it wise to age alone while I'm coping with emotional loss? In many ways, given certain circumstances, house sharing might be a wise choice at this stage of life. And the last one, living your best life now. So many women our age want to thrive. And one of the quotes that I often get is, I want to thrive in my third act. And at this stage of life, we have more freedom and flexibility than we've had in years, and personal growth, making a difference, living that best life now is often top of mind. And living with roommates with similar interests, who also enjoy similar activities and have great expectations and aspirations later in life, help us to find new meaning, purpose, and a zest for living. So reasons why being a roommate might make perfect dollars and also perfect sense. So sharing your own home. So if you have a large home and you have several unused or underutilized rooms and spaces in your home, if your home is too big to live alone and it's too difficult and expensive to maintain, if you're experiencing ongoing financial stress trying to just make ends meet, or if you've done due diligence and you can comply with any community laws and restrictions, and you've consulted with an attorney who could draw up the rental agreements, or if you are ready to declutter those excess items in your home to make room for your roommates, and if you're willing to do minor or possibly major renovations to accommodate roommates who will then help you offset the expense. So there are other things to ask, and what kind of a roommate would I be? So if you are committed to sharing expenses as well as chores and being part of a house sharing agreement, if you're prepared to sacrifice some of your privacy and freedom in exchange for the financial peace of mind, also for the community and also for the companionship, house sharing might be a good idea for you to be a roommate. And also, if you want a different kind of lifestyle, and we've all heard of the Golden Girls, we probably remember watching that on TV years ago, it might be fun as a different kind of lifestyle. And if you're ready for that kind of thing, it might well be that you'd be a great roommate. So there are top 10 essential design tips, and now I'm speaking from my designer hat, to make your home roommate ready. Well, every home and space is certainly uniquely different. These design tips will generate ideas on how to divide the space in your home, providing for your roommates' needs while protecting each other's privacy and while living together in a shared setting. So number one is to divide the common area into zones. So simply by rearranging furniture into communal spaces to have multiple functions that you can hang out, you can rest, you can watch TV, eat, entertain, or work. So an example of that would be having a work table can provide space to eat, entertain, meet, play games, and also work. The second one is to divide that open space. So by dividing the open space, and this certainly happened during COVID, create semi-private spaces by using room dividers, folding screens, French doors, pocket doors, or barn doors. This divides the open plan and allows for multiple activities. So for instance, someone can be watching TV, someone else can have private conversations, others might be reading, working, or entertaining. And the third tip for preparing your home for house sharing is to increase storage throughout. So if you can max out storage by using built-ins, bookcases, wall-mounted shelving, storage cabinets, and also outfit each closet to max out the storage, because everyone will have something to bring with them, and You don't want to over clutter your own home. So number 4 is to create a multifunctional bedroom suite with a private bath. So if you were to repurpose your master bedroom and bath to create a larger private suite, either for you or for one of those roommates, and obviously you would charge more money for that. Or another way to do it is if you have 2 adjoining rooms, and this could be 2 bedrooms back to back, if you break through to create a suite and maybe add French doors, barn doors, or pocket doors, you might also want to then incorporate a small eating area, a small conference area / game table, and a kitchenette. This may require either a small or a larger renovation. Number 5, other bedrooms. So use multifunctional furniture to max out every bedroom without overcrowding it. So use storage headboards, bookcase headboards, underbed storage, Murphy beds. Murphy beds can then have a fold-down desk underneath, and then lounge chairs and storage ottomans. These are all ways to capture additional storage and function in each room. And bathrooms. So if you're renovating or retrofitting your bathrooms, use universal design principles that provide handicap compliant spaces and fixtures. As an example, curbless showers with seat, grab bars, and handheld shower. So depending on your space, you might also be able to incorporate a Jack and Jill bathroom with shared sinks, walk-in shower, and then linen storage. And a 7th tip is to maybe create a kitchen banquette similar to what you would see in a restaurant. So you can max out your kitchen space with additional seating that might incorporate a banquette, and then that with a dining room table can then be used for additional seating, for lounging, work, a game table, or TV viewing. And number 8 is those miscellaneous rooms and nooks and crannies that your home might have. So if your home has unique spaces like that, use these spaces to include a library, a kitchenette, a game area, a reading area, or additional storage. And number 9 is a communication center. This is vital when you live with other people. It's also great for families. Centrally mount a chalkboard or a whiteboard to post activities, doctor's appointments, shopping trips, as well as shopping lists. Also, chore schedules, menus, cooking and cleaning schedules. These are all a very important part of having a roommate, sharing space. Everyone has different responsibilities. And the last thing is outside spaces. So as we experienced in COVID, outdoor spaces became a critical part of our lifestyle, and we can't go backwards now. So create a sanctuary-like space in your outside area, in your garden, that might include a garden, both flowers and vegetable, comfortable seating, intimate dining areas. And these can be used for working, for entertaining, and sometimes just a getaway space when you want and need privacy. So while many of these design tips are low-cost decorating and furniture ideas, if you're considering having long-term roommates, it might be well worth investing in a solid design and plan for renovating that best accommodates the needs of older adults and roommates. So that golden girl lifestyle that I'm talking about is actually being revisited as an option for baby boomer women who are looking for alternate lifestyles. Maybe you remember tuning in to watch the Golden Girls TV series that was during the late 1980s. You probably recall the fun and the lively conversations with Blanche and Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia, the roommates from different walks of life sharing a home together in their 60s and 70s. So back then, you may not have ever thought that you would be entertaining the idea of having roommates in your 60s or 70s. But as you know, our lives change And so we must challenge our thinking to at least consider that real life Golden Girl lifestyle experience. In this era of economic uncertainty, home sharing and cost sharing may provide the freedom that you want and need to experience an easier and more fulfilling lifestyle in your golden years. So I'd love to hear back from you. If you'll consider sharing a house with a roommate. And what about being a roommate in someone else's house? Would you consider that? And why or why not? And have you tried house sharing before? And what were the results? I'd love to hear back from you. You can reach out to me at Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. Thanks.